Imagine a world at war, where entire armies are stalled by a single river, a chasm, a broken bridge. In the crucible of World War II, every second, every crossing, was a life-or-death gamble. Victory and defeat hung in the balance, separated by just a few meters of water or a destroyed span of concrete. This is the story of how one man's brilliant idea, born not on the battlefield but at a quiet desk, fundamentally changed the way wars were fought. This is the story of the Bailey Bridge. Our protagonist isn't a general or a soldier charging into battle. He's Donald Bailey, a reserved and methodical civil servant working for the British War Office. While others were drawing up battle plans, Bailey was doodling on the back of an envelope, wrestling with a seemingly impossible problem: how to build a strong, reliable bridge anywhere with no heavy machinery and using only manpower. In the chaos of war, traditional bridge building was a luxury. It demanded specialized equipment, highly skilled engineers, and most importantly, time, a resource that was bleeding away with every passing day. The front lines needed a solution, and they needed it yesterday. Bailey's vision was radical. He imagined a bridge made of standardized, interlocking pieces, like a giant, super-strong Meccano set. Each component had to be light enough for a small group of soldiers to carry, yet when assembled, the structure had to be robust enough to support the immense weight of a tank. It was a design born from pure necessity. The panels, the pins, the transoms, every single part was designed for simplicity and speed. No complex tools were needed. Just human hands, a bit of muscle, and clear instructions. This modular approach meant the bridge could be adapted to almost any length or strength required. Need to cross a narrow stream? Use a few sections. A wide raging river? Add more panels, build more layers, and keep going. This wasn't just engineering, it was logistical genius. In an era before computer-aided design, Bailey worked out the complex stress calculations with a slide rule and sheer brain power. He was obsessed with creating a system so intuitive that a group of soldiers, under immense pressure and possibly even under enemy fire, could assemble it flawlessly. His idea was so unconventional that at first it was met with skepticism. But the need was too great to ignore. Finally, in 1942, the moment of truth arrived. In Christchurch, England, the first full-scale prototype of the Bailey Bridge was put to the test. A team of Royal Engineers, many of whom had never seen the components before, were tasked with assembling it. The pieces clicked together exactly as designed. The pins slid into place. A bridge materialized where there was nothing before, constructed in a fraction of the time a conventional bridge would take. Then came the ultimate test, a convoy of heavy military trucks, followed by the hulking mass of a Churchill tank, rumbled across the newly built span. The bridge held. It didn't just hold, it was rock solid. It was a resounding success. Donald Bailey's quiet obsession had just become one of the Allies' most powerful new weapons. With the successful test, production went into overdrive. Factories across the UK, and soon the US and Canada, began churning out thousands upon thousands of Bailey Bridge panels. They were packed into crates and shipped to every theater of war. The impact was immediate and profound. From the rugged terrain of Italy to the dense forests of Burma, the Bailey Bridge became the lifeline of the Allied advance. When retreating forces blew up bridges to slow the Allied armies, it was no longer a showstopper. Engineering units would arrive, often while the dust was still settling, and a Bailey Bridge would start to take shape. Rivers that would have taken weeks to cross were now spanned in mere hours. Think about the D-Day landings in Normandy. As Allied forces pushed inland, they faced a landscape of demolished infrastructure. The Germans had systematically destroyed bridges to create bottlenecks and trap the invading armies. But for every bridge they blew, a Bailey Bridge rose in its place. These Lego bridges, as some soldiers affectionately called them, kept the columns of tanks, trucks, and troops moving forward. Supply lines, the arteries of any army, remained open. Food, ammunition, and fuel could reach the front lines without interruption. What was once a major strategic obstacle became a temporary inconvenience. The speed of the Allied push across France and into Germany was, in no small part, thanks to Donald Bailey's invention. It allowed for a relentless, unstoppable momentum. General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the supreme commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force, didn't mince words when it came to the bridge's importance. He would later credit the Bailey Bridge as one of the three most significant technological advancements that helped win the war, alongside the radar and the heavy bomber. Field Marshal Bernard Montgomery was even more direct, stating that without the Bailey Bridge, the Allies would not have been able to keep up the speed of their advance. This wasn't just praise. It was a recognition that this simple collection of steel panels had fundamentally altered military strategy. It gave commanders a newfound flexibility, allowing them to bypass enemy strongpoints and maintain the element of surprise. It was a force multiplier, enabling smaller engineering units to achieve what would have previously required an entire battalion. The legacy of the Bailey Bridge didn't end with the war. After 1945, thousands of surplus Bailey components were used to rebuild the shattered infrastructure of Europe. They reconnected towns and villages, restored trade routes, and helped societies begin the long process of healing. Even today, you can find Bailey bridges in use all over the world, especially in developing countries or as temporary solutions after natural disasters. They serve as a testament to the durability and elegant simplicity of the original design. Donald Bailey himself was knighted for his contribution. He remained a humble civil servant, a man who saw a problem and engineered a solution that saved countless lives and shortened the deadliest conflict in human history. Donald Bailey's story is a powerful reminder that heroes aren't always found on the front lines. Sometimes they are the quiet innovators, the thinkers, the problem solvers who work tirelessly behind the scenes. His bridge wasn't just a structure of steel and pins. It was a bridge between desperation and hope, between a problem and its solution. It spanned rivers, but more importantly, it bridged the gap between the impossible and the achievable. It's a testament to the incredible power of human ingenuity, proving that sometimes the most brilliant ideas can be born from the simplest of concepts, doodled on the back of an envelope in the middle of a war. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button, and consider subscribing to our channel for more stories of incredible engineering and hidden history. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.